I have been waiting for this news for a considerable amount of time. I have always been curious about what the entire Arab world is doing to halt the invasion of Gaza and the possibility of a recurrence of the event of 1948 following the war between Israel and Arab nations. I was concerned about the potential displacement of Gazans or the complete takeover of the Strip by occupying forces. But there's good news, brothers and sisters, right now. Arab nations have finally decided to take action to unite against Israel to prevent a complete occupation of the Gaza Strip. Iran and Saudi Arabia are taking the lead here. Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome to another episode of the Open-Minded Thinker Show, focusing solely on Palestine. Please like and share this video so that others can view it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let's begin with Egypt, the only Arab nation that shares a border with Gaza, which is discreetly mobilizing troops to secure the border crossing and prevent a possible incursion into the Strip by Israel. Egypt has pledged that Gaza will not be depopulated as a plan to open the crossing solely for humanitarian aid, not for people to flee their ancestral homes. Perfect. Egypt has secretly vowed that if the possibility of Israel taking over becomes apparent, they will have to deploy troops to deter them. This action by Egypt is a welcomed development. The entire eastern region needs to stand up for the oppressed in Palestine. It is high time other countries around the peninsula adopt a more assertive approach to ensure that the rights of Gazans are not violated by any power. Egypt possesses one of the most robust militaries in the Arab world and can do more to ensure that the people of Gaza are not forced out of their lands. They can deploy forces within the city, occupy some areas with air defenses to deter aerial bombings, and of course provide humanitarian aid to the destabilized people of Gaza. The response from Saudi Arabia is even more exciting. Do you recall the Abraham Accord and the Israeli-Arab rapprochement? Well, it appears that exercise is now off the table. The Saudis are immediately backing out and have attributed the decision to cancel the US brokered deal that would have brought Saudi and Israel together to the ongoing aerial bombing of Gaza. Some have criticized Saudi Arabia for this decision, but I believe it is a wise move at this moment. Israel's conduct in targeting the people of Gaza with a restraint is highly responsible. Israel appears to show little regard for citizens, much like their adversaries Hamas. Saudi Arabia would have expected some level of restraint from Israel, especially given that most Arab nations have already condemned Hamas. Saudi Arabia anticipated that Israel would offer respect and seek peace rather than declaring war. However, Israel seems disinterested in the peace initiative or a ceasefire. It appears determined to deal with Palestinians once and for all. Saudi Arabia seems to have hidden plans to put a stop to this. While the Israeli military continues to urge Palestinians in Gaza to abandon their ancestral homes and flee, Jordan has declared that such an action would not be possible and has urged Palestinians not to leave their homes. Jordan's King Abdullah has issued a warning against any attempt to forcibly displace Palestinians from all Palestinian territories or cause their internal displacement, calling for preventing a spillover of the crisis into neighboring countries and exacerbating the refugee crisis. The head of the 22-member Arab League, Ahmed Abou-Gheit, urgently appealed to UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres to condemn this insane Israeli effort to transfer the population. The United Nations, which has displayed a lack of strong will and control over issues like this, has stated that its shelters in Gaza are no longer safe, and it has noted that the area's 2.3 million residents are rapidly running out of water. Honestly, the Israeli evacuation order targeting 1.1 million Palestinians living in northern Gaza would create a humanitarian catastrophe amounting to a certain death sentence for the sick and hospitalized, given that the hospital system is already barely operational and several hospitals have been bombed. So while we are pleased with the unity emerging from some Arab nations, we pray and hope that Allah intervenes through them to end the conflict in the interest of peace and the return of the Palestinian state. Please share your thoughts on this development, like and share to help us reach others. Subscribe if you haven't already so we can see you in the future. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters.